um yeah, like people that work for others, like work for the corporates and work for the businesses and stuff like that,
Mm.
they're never like they never make it to where they want to be or like how they should be living and stuff like that. Like they never become rich. The people that are becoming rich are the business owners, the entrepreneurs, the athletes, the investors, you know, the people that are learning about investments and business and stuff like that, you know. So that like there's so many different ways to go about the video.
Yeah, and I'm gonna replay the video for the people too, but I just wanted us to really think about this in the perspective of like like you said, growing that business, or even trying to get out of debt, get out of certain means, because you know when it comes to this particular topic, or even comes to money, it's a hard topic for people because it's either you know what to do with your money or you don't.
Right, yeah, right. Money management is like an ongoing learning experience. Like
Right.
it's an ongoing process. Like people go to school for this stuff.
Yeah, and there's
Right.
books you can read, you can study about it. You know what I'm saying? There's so many books.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna replay this real quick so everybody can check it out,
Of where the
for sure.
and then we can go over a little bit more.
economy is, the people who are behind are all the way behind. They not making enough to cover the necessities to
Now
have
I
nothing to
understand that.
save.
I'm not even talking about them
A
people that's
majority of
literally
black
just.
people are living in the negative.
But it's a lot of people, bro. I swear on everything, bro. They're making at least something that they can save something. I'm not talking to the people that's only making the shit that go from their hand to the other. You got niggas that really have extra.
I understand the
Spend
people
all
that
the
you talking
extra.
about, but I'm addressing the larger crowd. I'm
Right.
not just talking about a nigga who got some street money. I'm talking about the average working person. Cause people out here working full-time jobs with no free time, who don't have the
Hmm.
luxury of having a cash hustle or taking advantage of a skill. Most people out here are working a job that's paying them just enough to be broke. I'm saying even when you break down how much you make versus how much you need, they already negative $200-300 a month.
Ain't no extra.
Ain't no extra.
All right, would y'all agree that most people either lifestyle creep or live above their means?
Okay.
Like, okay, look, if a person make 3,000 a month, right, and then they get a promotion and make 5,000 a month, do you think they gonna keep that same lifestyle, or they're gonna upgrade their lifestyle and then now let me add another 1,000 a month in bills? You get what I'm saying? That's what people do. When I got rich, my bills were about 5,000 a month. And that was because I'm buying trading subscriptions like for Flow Algo, employees or whatnot at the time when I made my first million. But my personal expenses were $2,500 a month when I made my first million. So you gotta think, most people, when they making, cause what is that, 83K a month to make a million, right? What would they do? They're gonna go get 50K in bills. I got me a Lamborghini, I got me a this, I got me a that, instead of let me live in a small, or not even a small apartment, just a nice enough apartment in a nice neighborhood in the outskirts. That'll run me maybe 3,500 a month. Still, I'm a millionaire, live below my means, and let me kind of wait till I make about 5 or 3 to really show niggas that what this shit is.
At this point of where the economy is, the people who
And then and even going back to what he was saying on that on the when they started comparing the different people, you know, you got the average working man, you got the person doing this and doing that, you know. It's like the average man, you know, not everyone has the mindset or even the want to be an entrepreneur, right? So one thing that I tell people often on entrepreneurship is the fact of the investments and the mindset. Like, not only do you need to have a certain type of work ethic or hustle where you're on it consistently, but it also takes a certain headspace and determination. You're gonna have those bad days. You're gonna have those weeks where your pocket's running a little dry. You know, you're gonna um you're gonna learn what investing really is, whether you read it, study it, go to school for it, or or it's just something you learn gradually as you go along. But hold on,
No, you straight.
but but you know, as you go on, it's like in reality, a lot of people can't do that because when you're working a job, when you're working for somebody, kind of like he said, you're working to get paid enough to still be broke because all those bills add on, reality hits. You gotta take care of yourself, take care of this person, you gotta pay the rent, car insurance, da da da. So it's like that when you step into business, that um that need money to make money really comes into play because it's like I need this money for this stuff. So how am I going to get the money for the business? So I got to come up with a way to make that money to build the business. So and then it's everyone has their own way of going about it. Some people got kids, don't got kids, to each his own. And some people got people they looking out for stuff they got put out for, little situations, life happens. But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, it's like stepping out into the entrepreneurship world compared to the average day to day 9 to 5 or working man. It's like you really learn that um you need money to make money. So
Yeah, 100%. Along with that, that video is to play just to, like, really just talk about, just that concept of like wealth and less is more. Because I mean, they gave, the guy in there gave us some strategies. I forgot his name. I know the other two, but he does a lot of trading in stocks and talks about investing in money a lot. But we're talking about this because we're trying to really build that space for people who want to build that business, or you feel like you in debt, or you feel like you're in a rut. One thing I feel like they didn't talk about, as I was listening to the video, and they probably did. That was just a clip, what I'm saying. Never take those for, too much salt. But they didn't say nothing about, having a support system. You know what I'm saying?
right. That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Having a whole bunch of people that's just lending and giving you money. I'm like, sure,
Right.
if they are able to do that, but just know like that's not something that's gonna go unfree. Like some people either want to be paid back. Some people probably want a trade in for like work, like just help me with this,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Or sometimes
Mm-hmm.
they might just give it to you, but there's only so many times that people might do that.
Right,
But
right,
with that
yeah.
being said, you got to build you a group or a community so you guys can help each other build. Because you'll be surprised when you try to do things alone, how far you can get versus when you do it with a collective. And not to say is that like for example, let's say you want to invest into a business or a particular stock or anything. Imagine you build a plan for it, you save it, but then you have another person and they start saving with you. You guys put away $50, for maybe a year or two, then plan to start the business in like, 2029 or whatever,
Right.
you know, then you actually have a probable cause to move. It's like, hey, how your building going? Or we get a bank account, or we put it in the trust. Like, there's so many things you can do. And I'm just saying, like, just little stuff, that you can just think about to give yourself like a actual glance of your own idea. And you can like
Mm-hmm.
put the seeds into the ground.
Right. And then different people have different, based on relationships, based on relationships and lives and stuff like that. People have different support systems too. Some people they may have that person or couple people where it's like, you know, I like what you're doing. Like I throw you couple hundred, keep doing what you do, Some
Yeah,
people they got
but
the
Fox,
five.
bro,
Right, right, right.
that only
Exactly,
comes down
right.
the line when you're actually serious.
Right, right,
When you
right.
actually
Yeah,
building your work.
right.
Like somebody actually going to invest in you when they actually
Mm-hmm.
see you really working. They just
Mm-hmm.
not gonna throw you off. And there's gonna be some people that see you actually starting like, well, if you're serious, here you go, here you go. But that's only going to only be so much. So
Right,
you
right.
gotta really pay attention and build actual energy to that. Because I'm pretty sure when you started boxing, you know, people gave you some tape, they gave you gloves, they gave you probably information that stuck with you now. Like
My
people go invest into you.
my coach actually gave me my first pair of gloves. So, but
Yeah, see that's dope.
but even as far as like whether it's business, bye bye. Either as for whether it's business, whether it's sports or whatever it may be, it's like some people. So even family, like some people get that family support system, and some people don't. Some people starting from scratch, but it's like so the ones that are starting from scratch, the ones that are really like starting without nothing or no one, don't feel like just because that's your reality that you don't need some type of team. You don't need some type of help. Everyone can everyone knows something out here, and we none of us know it all. Like, because just because you maybe starting out rough, or your journey starting off maybe a little lonely or whatever the case may be, that doesn't mean that you can't find people out here that can do what you need.
100, and that's the part about investing, right? Because in the video he was talking about just like living under your means because we tend to live beyond our means, right? So less is more. Because like think about this, right? Let's say you want to build that business or you want to build that particular craft, but you don't have a setup, you don't have none of these things. All you can do is really buy one thing one at a time. Like think about the end goal and the start goal. Start with the cheapest stuff, then work towards the expensive things. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to have your art studio and you got the space for it, you know what I'm saying? Acquire your paints, paint by paint, or learn how to get a few colors and mix and learn how to make different colors. You know what I'm saying? You can really build your repertoire. Let's say you
See,
want to start making
see,
anything.
that's a perfect example too. It's like using that example. You your goal may have you're an artist. Um, you're an artist. Your goal maybe to have your own studio, your own like art spot. But you may need to start from scratch. You may need that architect, the one that puts the whole blueprint together. You may need the what are they called, like the one that handles the money and the budgeting. You
Yeah,
need
accounting. Yeah.
your accountant, right? Like like it's certain people you may need to do the things that you don't know how to do.
And
And
think of
some
this, dog. Like, and
right.
we over here telling people like to acquire more people, but it's like y'all saying less is more. But think about this. The more people, the more divide responsibilities and the things that they're good at, the less work it is for you. So you don't have to, like let's say you don't have to always, be there, right? Because someone there is to help you and fill in for you. Life happens. You know what I'm saying? That's the point of having a team, people to back you up. I work for bowling teams, multiple. I'm a sub for multiple teams. Shoot, the anime Bleach, Ichigo was a sub the whole time. I don't think bro ever really became, an actual Reaper or whatever you call it. So you got to realize, like, the person, having your back, means a lot. So make sure you respect them and, find them people. And if they can't help you at the time being, just don't take it personal. Just know they got you. Know they still gonna be there. Just because somebody say no or can't help with one thing doesn't mean they not there for you.
Right. That's
You gotta
real.
realize where people can meet you at too.
That's real, yeah. Cause like you said, life happens. Things happen sometimes. Sometimes people good, sometimes people not. And support don't always have to mean finance. Support don't always have to mean money, or I'ma lend you this, or I'ma like show up to every single things happen. It's when people got family and business, and people got their stuff going on. But it's like the people that are locked in, then that's what it is.
Right.
I don't expect everyone to show up to every single thing and give me $50 every time I need it, or stuff like that. But it's a it's a respect and love thing.
Hmm.
That's like for example, like couple of my cousins, couple of my cousins, like they they model for me. They like couple of my models for the brand, and then we be hitting the gym and everything like that. We be doing our thing. So
Right.
lately, for past couple months, few months or so, they in school, so they've been locked in on school. They've been doing their thing. I'm proud of them. Like they've been like real focused, like trying to get their degree and everything, just and then working on top of that. So we had a little discussion, they were saying like, I'm so sorry,
Mhm.
school and work, and when I'm done with this, we can do this and that. I'm like, don't even worry about that. Like your world don't revolve around me.
In
Like
fact, and it's
once
like,
like once you ready, we on it. Like that's what it is. Like I'm not holding that against you. You focused, you locked in, you doing what you gotta do, you getting that degree, and we good. Ain't
my thing
nothing.
is too, is like, are you really focused if you doing like 1,000 things at once?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Less is more. So you really actually are able to focus on that one particular thing at a time. You can actually tune in. Like, think about it. In school, of course, you got multiple classes, multiple subjects, you get sub majors, and your main major. But I bet you don't learn all that stuff all in one setting. Like, I'm talking about all 7 classes or whatever.
Right, yeah,
Maybe
right.
in middle school, high school, but some people, college or some school lives, they have class on this particular day. They have a
Yeah,
test on
right.
that day. So
Mhm.
they have time to really lock into that moment. So you got to realize how can you do that for yourself? How can you plan that? Oh, this is my time for my art. This is my time for my training. This is my time for work. You know, that's why in the past we talked about
Mhm.
time management, because it's like when it comes to building wealth, building money, and all these things, it comes from how you really manage your day.
Nah, for
From,
real, yeah,
from when you
absolutely.
get up, from all the way to the end, because it matters. Because I bet you Fox got his training plan for the week, for the days. He know when he gonna train.
Nah,
So
definitely, yeah.
so those are his moments to lock in, and then over like in 3 years, 4 years, 2 years, shoot, even 1 year of consistent work, watch into the amazing fighter he turns into because he's consistent with those times.
I
So
appreciate that, man.
think about your money, think about the skill, whatever you want to do, because those particular times that you build in are going to matter to that day you've reached that so-called perfection or that so-called success. But that's
Mm-hmm.
really just all the moments that you really channeled your energy and poured
Mm-hmm.
into something.
That's like one of my cousins I was talking about. She's in school to be a nurse, but even on top of that, the job that she's working is part of her nursing experience. So it's like just like I was telling her, like I don't ex- I don't expect you like you say less is more. And if you really doing too much on putting too much in your bucket, are you really focused for real? Like I
Mm.
was telling her, like I don't expect you to really be locked in. Like you at school, you learning about everything you need to learn as far as the nursing, and then you working, you at work and you getting that experience. So I don't expect you to be completely in it if you know every time you're not at school or not at work and like we shooting and we like you worry about my stuff because if it were the other way around and I needed that support or I needed that time to focus on my thing or whatever, whatever. And every time you come around, it's like, hey, let's go do this and do that. I'm gonna be like, dang, bro, like I'm trying to get my head right. So it's I'm like, you know, I ain't tripping.
Yeah,
Do what you gotta do, and when the time right, we gonna do what we do.
right. Because don't you know? Because when you build this team and these people, you know, unless they like some people who don't care about your time and stuff, they're not just gonna up and call you and be like, do. You know, they gonna actually be mindful of your life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like your job is. You know, unless you really have one of those horrible jobs, they don't really care about your well being for you to come in and work for them. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
right.
and some people do have those jobs where they don't care about you. You know, if
Man,
you
I
don't get here,
be
you fired. You know, if you
I
show up
be
late, it's over.
I be feeling blessed not to have them jobs. Like I be like, bro, I don't the people I'm surrounded by, I don't know nobody personally, but you know, I be watching the movies and stuff, the buzz talking about, you know, it's either the company or your wife and kid. I'm like, dang, bro, my man, my man can't have a family.
Yeah,
Like
that's crazy. You know,
like my man can't like dang, bro. He doing all this for the family. You feel me? Like
and the thing is, it's like everybody need a job. Even the people before they had their business that they start having as their main job, they had a
Mhm.
job before then so they can build money. Like,
Right, right, yeah, right.
you know, it'll be irrational for us, for me and you. Let's say, you know, if we want to go pro or really want to put more time into what we're doing, and we
Mhm.
got like, and we won a fight or we got a little camp or a sponsorship and got some bread, and then we quit our jobs. We low key throwing, we selling, we playing because it's like that 100K check ain't gonna last unless sure if you invest in it,
Right now, definitely,
build
yeah,
things, but like what
yeah.
you do with your output matters because like bro said in the video, just because you got 50K coming in now doesn't mean you gotta get a Lambo, rent this, get
Mhm.
that. Like sit on it
Mhm.
because it's gonna be a day you gonna like need it, or you gonna be like, hey, I finally what I want to do with at least 5% of this 50K, you know, whatever. So that's how you say.
No, that's real. Cause even going back to that, you know, whole money management thing, you know, they say more money, more problems,
Mm,
but necessary to spec- it won't I wouldn't even say more problems. It's just on how you manage everything, not even just the not even more money, more problems. It's not the fact that you're having more problems. You're just gaining decisions. You
right,
have more decisions, and you need to know what decisions to make. You know, you need that wisdom and guidance, and that step back to say like, okay, should I do this, do that? Should I use my money like this? Should I, you know, pocket it? Should you know? It's like blackjack. It's like blackjack. Like you always hear people talk about how when they get all this money, then people got their hand out and asking them, can I get this for this, and can I get some dollars for that and everything, and now you in a situation where it's like, first of all, you spending your money on yourself and your people crazy, and then you lending people money out. Yeah, you gonna have be able to think like one, you know.
Right. You had went out a little bit, B. So you probably want to repeat the last part one last time.
I was really just going on about the whole decisions thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you don't know how to make those decisions now with the minimum wage or whatever money you do make, then once you are up there in the big league, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. 100. Because it's like a person dealing with like a certain type of greed or anything. You know, you might get to a certain point. There's been many celebrities who had that bread and they got to a certain mind state and did this with it. Or you got like maybe Adrian Boner as a good example. You know how everybody been talking about him now. So, but yeah, for real, man. But I just want to say just thank you to the show. Thank you to the panel. Thank you to my man Fox. Thank you to Elijah Green. You know what I'm saying? And just the collective as a whole, because, us coming here is us really just building with the collective, really helping everyone push their narrative forward. Because you got to really think about, for your narrative, you got to have something to support it. You know what I'm saying? And I know everybody needs money. So, and that's what we're in, where we go to work for it. So, really learn how to build your money. You know what I'm saying? I said I was gonna give some good books. One good book to start with is Richest Man in Babylon. Just it's a
Okay.
good it's an audio book. You can get on YouTube free. Good 4 hour, 2 hour read.
I'm gonna have to put down my notes, put down the list. I got some books I'm trying to finish now, but definitely got to put down the list.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you that's a good one. It just tells you just how to really do with money, just good perspectives on like your life. So a lot of people, I remember seeing a video of someone try to like cram that book. I'm like, I thought it was a pretty fire book because sometimes when it comes to money books, a lot of people feel overwhelmed. They feel like they can't understand what's being talked about, or they might get hit with a lot of words out of jargon that they're not used to. Or Richest Man in Babylon kind of just paints the story for you to understand what to do with the money, maybe if you're in this person's position, how to, and it even puts you in a class of like certain talks about money. So, but besides that, man, that's the show. We just want to say thank you. We want to come up here and just, let y'all know less is more, and really just give y'all that thought to how to build your garden.
Yeah, man. That's really what it is for like us doing this and us speaking our mind and expressing ourselves like this, and
Mhm.
we just we try and push the, like you said, push the narrative. We try and help people think for themselves. Because the more you think for yourself, the more you figure yourself out and figure out how to get ahead of your own journey.
And you surround yourself with people who know how to think for themselves as well and move smart with you. Because, you don't want nobody crashing out. You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody got insurance. You know what I'm saying? But I shade to the collective and appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man.